I hope you're ready to see some crazy things on a third row SUV, because today I'm going to take my very first test drive in the 2024 GMC Yukon Denali. That means I'm not an expert, but I did know somebody who is. Hey, John.
Brian, how are you, buddy?
Good to see you. John Ambrosic's a salesman here at Smail GMC in Greensburg, and today we're going to take this vehicle on a test drive. If you're interested in this Yukon or other GMC vehicles, come check us out online at smailgmc.com. John, the exterior color of this vehicle is white, right?
White frost.
Okay,
White frost metallic.
So we have a little bit of metal flake in there. Whenever the sunlight hits it, looks really sparkly, really nice. Other things that stick out in the front of this vehicle, we have that chrome grille with a giant GMC logo on there.
Yeah, that very distinguishing Denali grille.
Headlights, we have LEDs with fog lights as well.
Yep, LED all the way around, LED headlights, LED fog lights.
Coming around the side, we have those glossy black wheels with the chrome accents along the outside, GMC logo in the center. What size tires do we have here?
Those are 22-inch.
Okay.
That's an upgrade over the standard.
So other things I'm noticing down the side of the vehicle, we obviously have the Denali badging and GMC badging up there, but getting into the vehicle, we can do that with the key fob, right?
Yeah, all you gotta do is just walk up, hit that button. Doesn't have to come out of your pocket.
Okay.
That's gonna unlock.
Well, I locked it there, but yeah, if I hit it again, that'll unlock it.
That'll unlock all 4 doors, and then when you open the doors, this has the retractable running boards, so those are gonna fold down for you. And
it is a little higher, so it's nice to have that retractable running board in there as well. So the back side, the tailgate, we have the GMC logo Yukon Denali on there. And do we have any type of keyless entry?
Yeah, so we come around back here, you do have the hands-free lift gate on this. So if you just swing your foot right there, it's on the right-hand side.
Yeah,
that'll
one kick,
open the hatch.
Came all the way up automatically. Of course, you could probably set your height there.
Yep,
right?
Programmable setting with the knob that's inside.
Some things that I like, first thing, just looking in here, we have those chrome inserts on the inside here, just prevent the back from getting too scratched up. You have, looks like a little bit of storage in here. In the back here, we have the 3-prong 120-volt house outlet with a little bit of light there. You have the ability to put down your seats here. Let's just check that out here for a second. But if I press these buttons, it's gonna electronically fold down these seats. We have a lot more space in here. And actually, those went down pretty quickly there. If I wanna put down the second row seats, I can do that as well just by pressing these buttons. One press, down. Oh wow, that actually folds them all the way up.
Yeah, so if you hold it, it'll fold up twice. If you just kind of push it and let it go, it just folds the back down to make everything nice and flat for you.
So we did fold these seats flat so you can see how much flat space you actually have if you keep them folded like that. That's a lot of space here in the trunk. Let's jump into those third row seats and see how much space we have back there. Getting into the back seats here, obviously this door opens up pretty wide here, John, first thing. But to get into those third row seats, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull this lever twice on the side of the seat. Gives me a lot of room to get in here, right?
Yeah, yep, and then you can see if you...
Yeah, I could use that as a leg rest if I really wanted to. That's really cool.
And it's funny that you say that, because I've had customers traveling with their kids, and they say they do that obviously with the screens here.
That is really cool. Yeah, you have the screens on the back of those seats, so you definitely have a lot of ability to entertain yourself and to relax back here. That's really cool. Now, it does look like you can fit 3 people in this third row.
Yep.
And the other things that I'm noticing back here, we obviously have some cup holders. We have USB-C chargers on both sides. Some lights up here, some ventilation. That's big in the third row.
That's big in the third row, and especially too being as close as it is to, to these rear passengers.
Well, that's just a lot of stuff here in the third row. Let's jump into these second row seats and see what we have over here. So these second row seats obviously have the white perforated leather with this gray stitching throughout. Look really nice, really unique. Getting in, I'm able to grab the handle here if I need it, and definitely these seats are super comfortable captain's chairs. I love having that space in the center here because it just gives everybody a little bit more feeling of space. Other things contributing to that too, we obviously have this gigantic panoramic sunroof above us. I can look up. I definitely feel I'm not claustrophobic back here, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah, and these seats are nice too because they actually slide back and forth. So if you have anybody in the third row, it's just the front handle on the side, and they travel, pretty far.
Yeah. I can stop that wherever I want.
Yep. And then they also recline too. So if you pull the handle in the back that you would fold the seat down with, you can recline them back.
This is amazing. This is a feature that you don't normally get to see in a lot of these vehicles. Yeah. So that's
definitely
really
makes
good.
a trip, that much easier
for
100%.
You.
And then along with that, we have the screens in this one. So it gives you...
So right there we have Hulu, we have YouTube, we have YouTube Kids. Yep. But it looks like you have the ability to adjust your headphones and things like that back here, so everybody can be listening and watching their own things. Now let's look down here real quick. Between us, we obviously have AC settings.
Yep.
We have the ability to, we have heated seats in the second row too.
Yeah. Yep.
And you have your HDMI and USB-C connections there for those screens. You also have the 3-prong 120 volt house outlet back there. Let's say you want to maybe plug in a PlayStation or whatever.
And, maybe you're sitting back there enjoying yourself, watching some stuff on TV on the screens while you're traveling. You got some drinks here. This does have the sliding rear console.
Oh, that's awesome.
You can just hit this button here and it's going to come right back. So now it's right there. Your controls for your climate control are right there.
Last things I just want to show off here in the back seat, we obviously have some additional storage here and here. Let's see what features the front seats have, then we'll get this thing on the road. So John, getting in the front seats of the Yukon Denali for the first time, man, there's a lot of great leather textures up top with the stitching. Everything looks really great in here. Let's go ahead and start the vehicle up. We obviously have fully digital display in front of me here, in front of the steering wheel. Left side, you have your miles per hour, you have miles per hour in the center, and your RPMs on the right side.
Cool thing is that whole driver information center in front of you is fully configurable. You can reconfigure it. Cool. Go over to the little gear.
Okay, go over to the gear.
And then display layout, go ahead and push that in, and now you can change. So go ahead and just hit that in, and you'll see it just it'll actually kind of change the shape of the gauges to the binnacle. You can go in and do it digital, so it'll get rid of those analog looks to everything.
Oh yeah, so that's really cool. It's making things more noticeable to me because it's not as cluttery. Like here's a simple, just a simple clean layout. You know?
You can configure the left and the right pods there too. So if you hit back to the left, to go to the left side info, and then you can kind of scroll through and choose some different things there.
I love having the tire pressure on there.
Yeah. So it's nice. You can just have it be blank if you want. But you can put up information. If you go to the right one, this is the only one that you're going to see over here. You have the drive modes. So it's showing you that you're in normal. If you go into like an off-road mode or snow and ice, that will change, but you can customize it a little bit.
We obviously showed off on the right side there. You have the ability to change different things on there. You also have the push to talk button, right?
Yep.
So do we have wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto?
It does.
Here? Awesome. Great.
Yep. And then also has Google Assistant. So the nice thing is if you're using your phone, you can hit that button there to answer the phone, make a phone call. But if you're using the Google Assistant, you don't have to touch any of the buttons at all. You just say, hey, Google. You just kind of tell it what you want it to do. So you can do anything from Google searches, because this utilizes Google Maps. That's built in. You can just very easily do a search for somewhere that you're driving. You can just tell it to give you directions to wherever it is you're going, and you don't have to worry about touching anything on the steering wheel. And just for anybody who has an Apple phone that's watching, is that compatible with this as well? It is, yeah. I mean, you still have the Apple CarPlay. Yeah. It's just these vehicles now, they don't have their own kind of built-in navigation that they used to put in there. This, again, just because it has the Google Assistant, it utilizes Google Maps. And you can only use that as long as you have some type of a wireless connection. If you don't, that's okay, because again, if you have an iPhone or an Android, you can use whatever maps that you have on there, and they will come up on here also. Obviously, on the left side, we have a lot of our safety features. We'll go over that on a test drive. Up top here is what's sticking out to me. What do we have up here? Super Cruise. Yeah, that's your indicator there that when your Super Cruise engages, it's going to show you, turn green, obviously, when it's active. We'll test that out on the test drive. Yep, that's always fun. So up top here on the left side of the steering wheel on the dashboard, we have our parking brake. Yep. We have a 360. Yeah, so if you actually hit that button, you can actually just pull up your camera at any point. We have our parking sensors, our idle engine off button. Yep.
We have our stability control, and is this hill?
It's a downhill assist.
Okay, downhill assist. Okay.
Yeah.
So that'll slow down the vehicle whenever we're going downhill.
Yeah, so it's kind of, you know, if you're off-road, if you're going down maybe a steep hill in the snow, you don't have to ride the brake. It actually uses the computer will access your brakes and your transmission to hold you, maintain you at a certain speed going down the hill.
We obviously have our parking assist button right there. That
Yep.
We'll test that out on the test drive, and our lane keep assist.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously up there on our heads-up display on the dashboard, I can see things like my safety features and my miles per hour.
And then there's some other things that you can kind of go through. So there's an info button over there. If you hit that button, you can change the things that you're seeing. Your speedometer is always going to be there, but there's 4 different pages that you can go through.
So wow, obviously you can have a lot of different features up there on the heads-up display. I'm going to test that out on the test drive. I don't know if we'll be able to display it as easily as this, but it's up there. So also down here we have our 4-wheel drive modes right here, John.
Yep.
So we can actually change our driving mode here as well. Let's take a look at that. So we have normal, sport, off-road, and tow haul mode.
Yeah.
In the center console, we obviously have our push button shifter here. Infotainment screen, tons of different features you can have on this infotainment screen. We already went over a lot of it.
The nice thing is you'd have down along the left-hand side here, these are all your shortcuts and your favorites. So you can actually, you know, if you're familiar with moving stuff around on your screen from your smartphone, this is going to be the same way. You just touch and hold, and you can drag stuff over to the left side to that tray.
Can you tell me a little bit about the My GMC app?
So the My GMC app is nice. You can download it obviously on your phone, but you can also access it through here. So it's going to give you information as far as, you know, maybe you could go in here and schedule service for your vehicle through the vehicle. Maybe you get in one time and it's saying, hey, you need an oil change. You can actually go in through the app on the vehicle itself, schedule through your dealership and get in for that. But like I said, on the phone, it's going to give you some other options. You can do your remote start, lock and unlock. You don't need the keys for any of that stuff. It gives you other information as far as tire pressure, oil life, you know, lifetime vehicle, mileage that you're getting. So there's a lot of different things along with a diagnostic, which is really nice because if anything is ever not running correctly on the vehicle, it'll notify you through your phone.
Down here, John, we have our buttons for our screen, but also below that we have our AC settings. We have, looks like heated seats, cooled seats, for driver and passenger. That's great to see. We have a wood finish down here that's really nice. I can push that forward, and we have a wireless phone charger, a 12-volt charger, USB-C, USB-A down there, as well as 2 cup holders. That's really nice. This armrest is really huge too, John. If we open this up, you can see down in there you have a lot of space for storing stuff as well. And it's a nice grippy texture in there.
And then with this having the sliding console, if you actually have this come back.
Oh yeah.
You've got a little storage here. There is a little storage bin that slides out, so you can actually put stuff in here, have that slid forward, and it's kind of out of view of people. And then this armrest slides forward, so if you have the whole console slid back for the rear passengers,
still in a comfortable
you're
place.
Still able to,
See, that's really cool. Up top here we have our garage door opener remote settings. Here we have the ability to open our shade. We have that gigantic panoramic sunroof that goes all the way into the back seats, and that's just one press, goes all the way back. If I were to want to tilt that open, I can do that with this button here, close that, and then I could totally open up the front of that sunroof, and you have that windscreen there that's going to protect you from the harsh winds, bugs, and things like that coming into the cabin. And that opens up big, John. That opens up all the way to that little gap there.
To that crossbar.
But the main thing I want to talk about here, John, is this rear view mirror, right? Because this is one of my favorite features that we always show off on the GMC vehicles. Not only do you have the regular mirror, but for me, for my test drive videos, I always have a cameraman back there. So in order to look past them, I just have a camera, right?
Yeah, you have a camera that's mounted on the back of the vehicle. You just flip that forward, and it takes any obstacles that are in your way, whether they're in the back seat or just the fact that you're in an SUV with a small back window and it's way back there and you're trying to look through it, it doesn't really show you too much.
And here's the thing, it is a higher vehicle. this can look up, it can look down,
Yeah.
wherever you need it to be. It can change, you can zoom in, you can change the brightness, all that great stuff. A lot of really great features on the inside of this vehicle, John. Let's get this thing out on the road. Let's test some of these out.
Sounds good.
So I'm noticing just going on these back roads here that have a lot of pickup, and the all-wheel drive system seems to be working very well with this the bumpy road. I'm barely even noticing a lot of these bumps here.
Yeah.
What kind of engine do we have?
So this one in the Denali is a 6.2 V8. Once you get into the Denali, those are your options are a 6.2 V8, or you have the option to go to diesel.
So John, when we're talking about the GMC Yukon Denali, what kind of warranty do we have for this vehicle?
So standard GM warranty, bumper to bumper is a 3-year, 36,000 mile warranty, and then your powertrain is 5-year, 60,000.
I noticed that the lane keep assist kicked on because there's 2 green lines on my dashboard. All I'm going to do is inch over here to the left, and that is just turning my steering wheel. It's buzzing my seat to alert me that it's doing this as well, but it's just turning my steering wheel slightly back into the lane, looking out for me on this test drive, making sure that I am alert. And I have the adaptive cruise control set, so this is adjusting my speed based on the car in front of me. It's keeping a distance between me and the car in front of me.
Yeah.
A safe distance. Speed limit right now is 55. I'm gonna go ahead and set my speed to 58. The vehicle in front of me was going slower, so I went down to 55. Now it has me speeding back up, and it's catching that truck in front of me, so it's gonna adjust my speed and slow me down based on that truck now. If I want to close the gap, I can do that, and it'll speed me up. That truck has moved out of the way, so we're speeding up. Will this come all the way down to a complete stop?
It will, yeah. If it totally needed to, it will bring you to a complete stop.
I also noticed that a little icon appeared on the dashboard here.
Yep, that little steering wheel. So that's just showing you that Super Cruise is available on the road that you're driving on. So you did it. You just hit that button. Once it turns green, you'll get the little green indicator on the steering wheel as well as on the dashboard.
And my hands are off the steering wheel, my foot is off the accelerator and the brake. All I'm doing is sitting here and watching and making sure that we're not going to be in any type of bad situation driving wise. It's set to the speed limit that I have set on the adaptive cruise control.
Right.
If I wanted to switch lanes, all I did there was turn on my turn signal, and this vehicle automatically switched lanes for me. That's really neat.
Yeah. So two different ways you can do it. You can switch lanes yourself. So the nice thing about that is maybe you're coming up to an on-ramp, and you want to get over just to maybe let some people, on, nobody in front of you. You can actually just hit that turn signal. It'll switch lanes for you. Otherwise, it is in auto lane change. So what it will do is if you're in the right-hand lane and you get behind a car that's going slower than you have your speed limit, it'll ride behind there for a few seconds or so. Then it's going to check to make sure that it's safe around it. What it will do is it will automatically switch lanes, so you don't even have to touch the turn signal at all.
Here we have the Super Cruise has disengaged with the red beeping there. It's now kicked on to the adaptive cruise control. I'm just going to kick it out of that so that we're coming down to a red light here.
Yeah, so that's one thing you always want to watch with this too, is when we got to a portion in the road here because of the stoplights coming up where the Super Cruise is not available. So what it'll do, it'll alert you that it's going to disengage, but you just have to remember that it's still utilizing the adaptive cruise control. So as you saw there, it started to speed back up. Now, it would have slowed us down, but obviously you don't want to come to a complete stop. Everybody stopped at the stoplight and you're kind of speeding up on it, and the vehicle's forcing itself. So just always tell people, remember that, whenever it does disengage, if it's doing that for a reason because you need to stop, maybe just tap on the brake to disengage that adaptive cruise.
On the right side of the vehicle, we have somebody coming up in our blind spot. When that occurs, my mirror lights up, and whenever I turn on my turn signal, that's now flashing at me to alert me that somebody's in my blind spot, right?
Yeah. Yep. So that way there, it's just kind of, again, another attention grabber to say, hey, there's somebody there. You're not going to be able to slide in front of them.
We're going to test out the backup camera, but there's a special way that we can do this without me having to do it, right?
So you can actually, because this does have the automatic parking feature. So if you hit that button, you're going to see it will pop up, and it gives you the option search for spots on the left or right side, and then you have parallel or perpendicular park. Select what you want to do. You drive forward. Once it finds a spot that you're able to park in, it's going to tell you to stop.
Shift to reverse. So I'm going to put us into reverse. I'm going to just take my foot off of the brake there and let the vehicle do its job. I'm going to pay attention to what's around me, obviously. My foot's over the brake in case something were to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But this is going to adjust here. We're going to do a 3-point turn here.
And you'll see anything that it does here, you start to have kind of like a progress bar.
Mm-hmm.
So once it gets ready to stop doing what it's doing, it'll...
I'm just trusting it to do what it's doing, and it's doing it very well. This is a busy parking lot. This is just my first test on this. So this is great. This is working out.
Yeah.
All right, and we're right in the spot, no problems. That's awesome. This is a large vehicle too. I mean,
yeah.
You might want this vehicle to park itself.
Correct. Yeah.
I want to just look at the regular backup camera. If I put this vehicle into reverse, obviously we have those projected lines that can change whenever we're going back into a spot. It'll tell you how far away you are from something. You can go to your front camera. You can go to a top view camera, right? I can get all the way back into the line this direction. Let's say that I'm having an issue where the side of my vehicle is coming close to something. I can look at the tires.
Yeah, that's nice if you're parking alongside of a curb.
Yeah. And obviously we have a tailgate camera as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at, you can have that 360 view. That helps a lot. You have a trailering view as well, right?
Yeah, so that's actually when you,
lines.
that'll remove the lines for you.
Yeah,
So when you're backing up, you can actually put it on that skinny one, and that's if you actually have a hitch hooked up back there and you're maybe trying to load up a trailer, hook up to a trailer.
There we have it. Cross traffic monitoring as this bus is coming across behind us, just alerting us, hey, when you're in reverse, be mindful. There's people moving behind us, and which direction it's coming from. That's huge.
Yeah.
So with all of these great technology and safety features built into this GMC Yukon Denali, John, it's easy to see why this is a favorite in the GMC lineup. If people have questions about this vehicle, how can they contact you?
You can stop in and see us right off of Route 30 in Greensburg, or you can check us out online at smailgmc.com.
That's going to do it for our test drive today. So until next time, enjoy the ride.